So today, it's all about protection. We've got some Cervus or Agabus. I don't actually know how you pronounce that, so I'll work on that. But anyway, frame guards to go down the side of the bike. It's mostly aesthetic, but there is a little bit of grip tape on the side as well, so help with sliding around on the bike, and one less excuse for me to say why I'm such a shit rider. So we're getting some excuses off the table, and we've also got a B&B off-road alloy bash plate versus the factory plastic skid plate, which is criminal on an enduro bike. So just a little bit extra protection. So we'll slap it on and see how we go. So here's a quick look at the frame, all uncovered. So there's a few rub marks and a few things like that on it, but this bike's only done 800 kilometers, so what's that? That's about 500 miles for those playing in the what the hell is a kilometer nation. So the frames don't look bad by any means. I like the clean alloy look, but I think with the black grip tape and the blue frame guards, it's just gonna make it pop a little bit more, match in with the rest of the seat and the side panels and all that sort of stuff. And then coming down here, plastic skid plate, absolutely criminal. So gonna get that bad boy off there. It looks like it comes with an extra piece for actually covering up the hose here as well. So the bash plate will be finishing somewhere around here for the alloy B&B off-road one, and then there's a little extension piece that comes up and covers this hose, which is awfully exposed. So I didn't even notice that previously, so I'm very, very happy that I've decided to get an upgraded bash plate for this bike, just for the amount of drop down logs and trees and crap that we go through and big rocks that we drop off and stuff up in the forestry. Just a much better idea. So there's the little hose guard, so that'll sit separately to this, but somewhere up here. So it's a really, really nice, it's fairly lightweight. Even the welds look nice on it. It's about $280 this bash plate, again from MX Store. That's pretty much where everything goes from. I need to work on getting a sponsorship from those guys. If my wife finds the receipts, I'm in trouble. But yeah, same as the frame guards, they were $100 from MX Store as well. So one for each side, a little bit more scuffing up on this side. So let's rip in and get them installed. So it looks like for the bash plate, we've got 3 8mm bolts. So I'm going to cheat and use the electric ratchet. That's how thin and crappy this plastic bash plate is. Like, it's firm. I guess it's called a skid plate, not a bash plate, but I just feel with, I put a hole in the crankcase going over some rocks because of a piece of plastic instead of spending a couple $100 to get an alloy bash plate. I'd rather kill a $270 bash plate than however much it's going to cost me to get the engine rebuilt, because I'm definitely not doing that. So a few bucks just for a little bit of longevity, reliability, and just idiot proofing it as well, because there's definitely plenty of rider error where a bash plate's going to come in handy. So let's see how hard it is to get this alloy bash plate on there. So there's our little hose guard. So it does come with a little bag that says, to fit hose guard, easiest way is to loosen right hand side radiator bolts, remove the genuine bolts and dog bone spacer plate, reinstall using M8 Allen head cap screws / washers without the dog bone spacer. So that's our M8 Allen key head or hex head screw bolts, screw / bolts. So let's have a look, see if we need to do the bash plate first, then this, or if we can fit this on. Alrighty, so starting off with the bash plate. Flip the bike around because this side is the action side. So this is our radiator hose protector. That's going to slide down into here. So there's 2 12mm bolts and that dog bone plate that they were talking about. They're right, the top bolt is right behind this radiator hose, and I do not want to take that off if I can help it. So I've already cracked these, so with a little bit of TD magic, they're already cracked. The bottom one should come out without giving us too much grief, as long as I don't get my ratchet spanner stuck in there. But that top one, the other downside is then they're a bit tighter than finger tight, so they're sort of, oh, this top one's going to come out relatively easy, but the bottom one, I can't undo. Alrighty, bash plate is on. What a muck around that was. So right down in here, you see this Allen key bolt just there, and then there's another one down in there. So it looks slightly worse now the main bash plate's on, but I ended up having to undo that 14mm nut and then loosening the equivalent bolts on the other side and tapping that bolt through because of it just wasn't lining up, which is why the bottom bolt on this side was tight coming out. But now it is all on there. It's going to be very hard to see because of the light from the sun that's finally decided to come out. But yeah, we've now got the B&B alloy bash plate on there now, which looks so much better. Worlds better. So we'll do our frame guards now, and then we'll take it outside in the light and I'll show you what it all looks like. So the frame guards are super straightforward. So the instructions are very simple as well, literally just a couple of photos. You get some little, what do they call them? Introduce the expander into the frame. So essentially there's a hole in the frame here, and then which is displayed right there. And on the other side, you've got the same thing. So you put these plastic plugs in, and then screws, zip ties, that's it. So do a quick time lapse, throw these bad boys on, and then we'll do a walk around of the bike. So as has been the case with everything that I've done so far, we've run into a little bit of a hiccup. It was looking a little too easy, so this makes sense. So you'll notice there is a significant lack of kickstand on this photo. So I'll take you around the other side and you can see the issue that we're running into. So it looks pretty good at first, but then you'll see it's hard up against the kickstand down here and not sitting against a rail. So even if I tighten it all the way up and zip tie it, it's not going to sit very flush. So this probably going to put this up on the bike stand and pull the kickstand off, get this mounted, and then hope to goodness gracious that the kickstand will go back on with this in place. If not, it's getting cut. Alrighty, not bad at all. The headlight that we've installed, the Race Tech headlight, even if it's no better than the factory one, it looks so much cooler. But there we go, bash plates on, looking very nice. And then our Acerbis, I promise I'll find out how that's actually pronounced. Frame guards are on, just adding a little bit of extra black and blue in the mix, just as the rain starts to roll in, so it's not a bad time to end it. There's the other one. Foot peg had to come off to get the kickstand off, but that was just a little split pin and then 2 bolts, so not too bad. It all fits on there quite nicely. Even though half the mounting hardware is zip ties, it still looks relatively clean. So now I just need to pull my finger out and go for a ride up the trails and see how all this new gear goes. And I'm slowly running out of excuses. I'll have to find some new ones, but there we go. And we're now a little bit more enduro ready. It's time to hit the trails.